All right, welcome to the pilot debut episode of the TNECast. I am Isaac. You know who I am, the big man named Chef. And I have with me my co-host, my little brother,
You already know
Kyrie
it's Cooper. It's Coop,
a.k.a.
baby.
Weapon K.
What's up? What's up?
How are you feeling today?
I'm chilling, man. I'm tired. But I know I got to go to the gym in an hour, but, we about to put in that work. No excuses, right?
No excuses, only result as we move ruthless, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so with this pilot episode, we're gonna break this down into three segments. First one, we're gonna talk a little bit about the No Excuse Crew, how it came about. Next segment, Kyrie is gonna tell us about his experience at the Texas Cup, the largest NPC show in history. And then the last segment, we're gonna talk a little bit how we came to know each other and how we came to be so close.
Yeah.
Which part of this story he doesn't know, so I can't wait to tell him this. I'm gonna hit him with a little surprise. So, Kyrie, you got anything you want to say before we jump in?
Nah. Let's get straight into it, man. So, what's the story, B? What's the story of the No Excuse Crew?
So, we try to keep everything short. So I'm gonna kind of go from the beginning of how we started the hashtag. So I just started becoming a personal trainer. And basically, this was in the Snapchat days, and we jokingly made a hashtag talking about the No Excuse Crew because it was people. There's a few friends of mine that we did. We were doing cardio early in the morning, and things like that. And then it just kind of grew, and people was like, "Well, what is that?" And then as my training business grew, and as I started taking on more clients and things started to move, I was just like, man, this would be a pretty cool name for an actual company. So what I did, I took it and I was like, all right, let me bring this over, started the process of getting the LLC and everything like that. Oddly enough, I couldn't turn it into a company. So the official name of the company is TNEC Fitness LLC. But, we do business as the No Excuse Crew. So either one is under the filing. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, that's when we talk about, turning a hashtag into a company. It's something that I say a lot. And basically what that means, we took something that brought a lot of people together from different walks of life, different parts of the country that were all united under fitness. And then we started to break off from that, talking about no excuses, only results. And really what it came down to was, if you want these results, you're not going to let anything stop you, and that really breaks over into life as well. But, for us, it was like, okay, I'm going to get up early and do this cardio. And then that translated over to now I'm getting up to do this cardio, not just because I want to be a good example for my clients, but now it's like, okay, I want to do this cardio because I want to win shows and become a professional bodybuilder, and everything like that. So, that's the basis behind it and how it got to, from the iteration to where, kind of like where we are now, we're actually global. We have clients all over the world, which is pretty dope. So.
Yeah, I like that. That's the one reason why I joined the No Excuse Crew. I think I tagged you in that Instagram post. When I first got to Saudi Arabia, I was still in quarantine. We only had a pair of dumbbells. I think it was like 25 pounds, a barbell, and like 45-pound plates. And it was like 120 degrees outside. So it was fucking scorching. like as soon as you go outside, like you instantly drenched. And like even grabbing the barbell, the iron was so hot. But in the back of my head, it was just like, Isaac is working. Isaac is working. You better start working, motherfucker. And that's why I tagged you. And I was like, yo, like, what that boy Isaac say? No excuse. What's your excuse? That pretty much helped me through my prep for the Texas Cup as well, man. Especially having a team behind me. It's just like the group chat, constantly like giving my thoughts and, saying like, yo, they get to be home with their dependents, and kiss their kids goodnight and go to the grocery store when they're out of food. And I'm over here, scavenging tuna packets and after ration out rice for 6 months. Like I laugh, but in the moment it was terrible. But we can laugh about it now because it was like, yo, that was some sick shit.
Yeah. But 21 of us right now.
Yeah.
And then if you count all of the lifestyle clients and everything like that, I mean, we're almost like 200 deep. So there's a lot of us.
Yeah, man. And
And
then,
that's not including the people that subscribe to TNEC on demand either. So you
mm-hmm.
add that in too. There's a lot of us.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, whenever you started, like, the No Excuse Crew, I never asked you about this. Was it all about sharing knowledge?
So that's a really good question. So I would say on the competition side, yes, because when we first started and we said, okay, we're going to be a competition team, and because part of why I got into competing because I wanted to coach competitors, I brought people on that were already pros and that were trying to get into coaching and things like that because it was a big, it was, I mean, which obviously still is now, but it started as I was like the only one that coached, but then I had a think tank. So I had people I could ask me, hey, this person is struggling with this. What do you think? This person is struggling with this on their posing. What do you think? So that's kind of where that, where that went.
Good word, man. So, how long you been coaching for? Because I know you started No Excuse Crew back when? It was a few years, huh?
So so we've been a company since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've been coaching athletes. This is the one that shocks people. I've been coaching athletes like a little over a year. So that's the
Word.
one that, yeah, that's the one that really, because with how the success we've had, that's what really blows people's mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been a trainer since 2015, so I've been doing that for 6 years. So
Oh, so that carried over nicely.
yeah,
Did you keep some of those lifestyle clients coming in?
oh yeah. That's I mean, because that's why I tell people, the lifestyle side of the business help really is what supports what we are able to do on the competition side.
Mm-hmm.
From a financial standpoint, because I mean, we have 6 times as many people on the competition. I mean, on the lifestyle side. So, I mean, I remember when my first season as an athlete, I kind of backed down on my personal client load just because I didn't know what I was getting into. But
Mm-hmm.
then, which has led to our another round of explosive growth for us. I didn't have to. I knew what I was doing, and I coached myself the second time around, and I didn't have to. I didn't, lower my client base. So I was like, now we just, it's crazy. So I've been able to keep the clients growing and being able to, feed other people, like such as yourself. When you say, hey, I'm ready to start coaching,
Mm-hmm.
bam, I'm like, okay, here we go. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, what it is in terms of, keeping the clients and everything like that. Now we're kind of just on just a growth trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of talked about, the no excuse for how things are going. We need to talk about how we closed out 2020.
Oh, we do.
So I'm kind of like Kyrie's mouthpiece sometimes because he has this weird mix of extreme confidence and he's also extremely humble. So sometimes he needs Big Bro to be the loudmouth for him sometimes. So you know, let's talk about how you won the overall at the Texas Cup outside of Waco and Belton, Texas. Talk about that experience because I mean that was one of, if not the biggest shows, ever, for MPC. You went up against a lot of guys because I was there. I watched
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I mean, really, tell me about the experience, really from, we'll leave prep out, but, kind of like, the day of when you got there and, take us through to how it felt to win it.
Yeah, so since I'm still a newbie to the game, I don't really know what I look like and where I need to be, which is a blessing. I'm not surrounded by bodybuilders, so I have a fantasy of what a bodybuilder's supposed to do. Therefore, I just like, hey, that's the only thing I can go off of. You know what I mean? Like, for the first like year of actually like like training for a competition, I did not miss a meal, bro. I was so, because I was like, bodybuilders like Flex Wheeler never missed a meal. Ronnie Coleman never missed a meal. Therefore, I will never cheat and stuff like that. Actually, I lied. I cheated this one time, and it was I'm gonna give it back to the Texas Cup. It was in my first prep. It was a 7-week prep, and I had a fingernail full of peanut butter,
Oh,
and
peanut butter.
it haunted me forever. But the Texas Cup was dope. It was a lot. It was 133 total competitors um, that crossed that stage. And when I tell you that was the longest night of all time, Even Isaac was there, man. Man, we were there for a hot minute. I thought I wasn't even gonna compete. It was like, dog, like Classic is still on stage. But yeah, like it was a lot of competitors. But being backstage, I personally, I wasn't very confident in my ability to pull that out because once again, I don't know what I'm looking for. And there were some giants back there. They were huge. So and it wasn't until Isaac came up to me and was like, "Bro, you got it." You know what I mean? This is like, dog. Even stepping up on stage, I didn't get a chance to look to the guys left and right to me, but like, I just loved it. I loved every second of it. Being back there, the environment thing is like my first competition OCB. Man, it was fun, just long. So we're gonna see how nationals treats us later on.
All right, so with me being there, it gives me a little more insight, makes it easier to ask, some of the questions, that people may want to know. So, what would you say? I'll leave out the obvious outside of the sizes of the shows. What would you say was the main difference between this show and then the OCB show that you did?
Oh man, I took it so personally. I took it personally, just for the fact that I was in Saudi Arabia and my fellow competitors were here. You know, they were comfortable, and I was very uncomfortable. So I think I put that in the chat one day, and I was like, "Yo, they gonna have to pay for that. They gonna have to pay for that. Like, if I'm in hell, y'all about to feel my wrath, brother, when I get back." It was funny. So I was watching Infinity War, the Marvel movie with Thanos, over and over and over again, because I was like, once I get these stones, bro, I'm coming. Yeah, that was the only difference between that one and the Champions one.
Okay. So, there were a lot of competitors there, overall, but just in men's physique.
Mm-hmm.
When you were looking at who you were going against, what were you using to measure yourself? Because again, I can ask this because I was there, so I was doing the same thing you were doing, obviously from different vantage points. But what were you looking at when you were looking at the other guys, and what was kind of like going through your mind?
Size, dog. They were some giants. This is like just walking back there and being a natural and like just looking around, and like this is my first time at a bodybuilding like a NPC show, not an OCB show, but an NPC show. And I'm just like, yo, I thought I was huge. I thought I was the biggest man on the block until these monsters walked by. So size, conditioning. But there's one thing that I forgot to take into account, and that's just shape. And that's just how you look. You know what I mean? And being aesthetically pleasing to look at. Because sure, you have a whole bunch of men's physique guys who's like big and blocky, but they don't have like you said, they don't have what we got over here, man. They don't got it. It's different around here. So, but yeah, that was the main thing, size.
So you actually bring up a good point. So what would you? So like when you won and everything went through, what do you think it is that put you over the top? Why do you think that you won?
My waist. But no, I think it's just everything. Like I'm looking back at, so before each workout I actually look at those pictures. I look at the final comparisons for everyone that went up for overall, and dog, like have you ever took a picture of yourself like on prep and you're like, man, this picture's trash, and then you look back like a week later and be like, man, I was on 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
That was exactly how it was, where I can look back and be like, what is that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think I just have to do some more research in the sport to know what I'm looking at first and know what to pursue. But like my back was crazy too, man. Life was good.
So what I'll say, because I think you hit the nail on the head as somebody that again, I was there, so I'm not going to speak for Kyrie in what he thought, but what I saw, Kyrie's V taper is really, when I say next level, it's kind of crazy for somebody that I can consider a true friend and somebody that I'm like actually close with. I can pick up the phone and call and be able to say this. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it. Like, and this is not, to pump him up, because everybody knows me, I do not BS. And so what I was yelling from the stands was, no, nobody got that, because it's amazing how small Kyrie's weight. Because I honestly, and it's something that I've done, because I've compared us before, because we have similar body types. We have about the same size waist, but the way his taper comes down, it goes straight to his waist. There's no stopping the taper. It's not like lats and then it moves out to the lower back. It goes straight. So it gives him this unique V taper that you just do not see. And then you add on the fact that he's natural, so his body looks different than everybody else's because it's rounded muscles, not the square muscles, which Kyrie touched on. It's aesthetically pleasing. So, as we kind of wrapped it up, definitely, Kyrie, thank you for kindly, taking us through that, through that journey about, how that show was, and everything like that. But, again, as the big brother figure, extremely proud to be able to, of his performance, but even better that I got to be there for it and got to be there, during it and after it, and give him a hug and tell him how proud I was, because really am, like, I've been beaming about it. We still brag about it, but we're monsters over here, so we're like, okay, this is cool, we did that. Now what do we got to do next? Yes, that's how we stay hungry. So we're going to move on to the next segment. All right, so we're going to close out the show with this last segment. Thanks for everybody that's hung around. So this last segment is going to be a little bit personal. We're going to talk about how Kyrie and I first met. Yep. So, Kyrie, do you know what I first thought about you before I ever met you?
What is this stream being doing on stage?
All right, so here's what's funny. I thought Kyrie was this cocky little son of a gun. That's what I thought, and I was like, I'm gonna whoop this kid's ass. I can't wait, because on social media you get part of the story. So I gave a kid that I thought was Kyrie a little bit of attitude at check-in, but it wasn't Kyrie. It was somebody else. Anything crazy. I gave him attitude because I was like, because I was on go. I was on a tilt. I was like, I'm coming here to get my pro card in Dallas and everything like that. So I will say, and I can say this because we family now, this man kicked my ass that day. And I was ready for war. I was like, man, I'm gonna get him. Because I remember I was saying to my coach at the time, I was like, the kid looks good. Because I always give credit where it's does. Like, the kid looks good, but he's too small. He's too small for me. I'll get him. So we show up, and then it's so funny because I didn't realize it was him. And he says, "What's up?" to me, and it was just like this. And I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this. It was like that whole thing where the sky parts and somebody shines the light. I just instantly took to him, and I didn't even know it was Kyrie. And then from there, we in the backstage, we was talking. And the funny part about it was, I remember after we competed, they were trying to take pictures, and I was calling out to him I was like, hey, come back to the stage to take your pictures. And it was like I knew him. It was like it was in a good way. It was like the weirdest thing. We just really freaking clicked. So then we took the picture after, and everything like that. And I just congratulated him and was like, yo, man, you got a great future. So I mean, when we decided to team up, blessing, man, because like I could not be prouder of him, happy, like I can use all the different superlatives and adjectives, and it's still like, look, you guys see on both sides of the social media house how proud I am of him. And so I just thought it was funny because I was like, man, I thought he was a punk kid, and he turns out to be somebody that I love and adore. So it's just what and he can't deny that, because I stayed through one of the longest nights ever to make sure I was there.
Oh God. Oh man, so funny that you brought that up, because I got something equally. So check this out. I'm looking at my my gallery right now, and I'm looking at a photo, and it's from the OCB Champions Untamed Instagram, and I see you comment TNEC takeover. I screenshotted that and set it as my screensaver. And I was like, taking over what?
Yeah.
I was like, taking over what? Do they know who I am? But yeah, I'm telling you, and that's what I love about bodybuilding, because it's such a competitive sport. But at the end of the day, we like it's a brotherhood. You know, it's like you said before, it's a shared sacrifice.
Yep.
You know, at the end of the day, it's all respect. You know, so. But yeah, man, hey.
Yo, that's crazy. That, you know, really, that tells you like that's some destiny type stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like that's just wild. But it also goes to show, you know, so this our sport has evolved, and a lot of it has evolved because of social media. Because before, the only trash talking or what you would see would be in a magazine. Mm-hmm. Now it's right, you know, like, you know, I know you guys can't see, but, you know, Kyrie held up his phone, but, you know, that's, you know, how it is now. You know, but it also can create, because the oddly enough, as close as Kyrie and are, we've seen each other twice in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and, you know, it's just crazy because, you know, because I'm older than Kyrie, so it makes it easier to, you know, to do the whole big brother thing. You know, oh, so I'm gonna tell you another funny thing, you know, about, you know, the uniqueness of our relationship. If you would have asked me before Texas Cup, I would bet you any amount of money that Kyrie was taller than me. I did not realize we were the same height. I don't know if you realized when I looked at you, because we looked each other dead in the eyes, you know, after we hugged, I was like, why do I remember him being taller?
Why are you being taller, bro?
I really thought you. Oh, I was like, because I remember, I was like, yeah, you know, and I was like, when did we get to be the same height? I just really thought you were taller than me. So it's just funny, like the weird things that that just go on, and but now I'm so proud to watch his growth, and it's dope because now I get to help guide that, and it's really like when I see somebody that's a supreme talent. Like Kyrie's a supreme talent. That is undeniable, and I will fight and argue anybody on that. And shout out to Kyle, who is a help guide Kyrie,
yes,
and everything. And that's the other beautiful thing, because I'm not necessarily Kyrie's coach. I don't know what the hell you want to call it, but we just teammates and all the everything, and I'm there and everything like that. But want to make sure that Kyle gets his just due for the plan and everything that he's done for Kyrie. And the beautiful thing about that is, while he has his own situation, it's all family and we all support Kyrie. And I know we're kind of supposed to be talking about how me and Kyrie met and all that stuff. But I'll be remiss. What's that? Oh yeah,
next about Coach next episode.
Yeah, but I want to make sure that we give him his props because it's funny. This is what we always talk about being real, because it's very easy to assume with Kyrie and our relationship and the fact that I'm older, that it looks like I'm his coach and all these different things. But it was somebody close to me had actually made that mistake, and it was no harm, no foul. But I made sure, I was like, no. Kyle is his head coach, and he's done great work. I'm like I said, we all get along, wonderfully. I'm extremely proud of what he's done and what he's doing in his everything. But yeah, I had to mention that. Like, I would be remiss to not, mention that. And it's also his fault that I didn't like you at first too, because he was supposed to for you. Because so the promoter of that show didn't protect everybody's emails. So, I started doing I saw who's what, and I started doing research to see who was where and all the everything. Anything. I know it sounds like some James Bond, Jason Bourne detective stuff, but I mean, it was easy, because it's all the names. So you just look at us, you can start to see. And I was like, man, I said, I can't wait, man. They thinking, but I mean, hey, it was right. And guess what? Now I'm part of it. So, it is what it is. Because, and the thing with cockiness or whatever you want to call it, he backs it up. I back it up. He backs it up. We back it up. So at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. And then shit, I mean, I just realized how much we're freaking alike. Like at the end of the day, we're gonna say our shit, but we're gonna back it up. So if you come on stage against us, win, lose, or draw, you ain't coming up there and just gonna stand there and think you're gonna take it from us. You better have worked, because we are the Taper Gang. There ain't a lot of people out there moving like us. Not a lot of people out there moving like us with 28 shorts that are designed for men's physique guys that are too big for us.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, so we kind of we wanted to close it, telling some behind the scenes stories and everything. Just so Kyrie, what you got to say before we hop off of here?
So this is going to be a weekly thing. We're going to start publishing every Tuesday. So if you have any comments, concern, questions, definitely hit up the No Excuse Crew at the No Excuse Crew. You can follow me at Kyrie Cooper. Good luck trying to spell Kyrie right. And I appreciate you guys for listening, man. I appreciate you guys. What you got, Isaac?
Good. Well, again, this is the pilot episode, so everybody that stayed tapped in with us, through this all, we really, really appreciate you. Kyrie gave the social medias. We're going to continue. We want this show to be for you. And we say you the listener. So please give us feedback. And for the people that are going to get to hear this episode, it's extremely important because you're going to help springboard this, and we just want to make sure that we make it something that is going to provide value to somebody, whether it's motivation, inspiration, or knowledge. Yes, so again, thank you guys for tapping in with us, and we will see you next week.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.